When he's doing this in your face, doing this to the crowd, you're just sitting there like. Then you got to realize he's a professional bucket getter. Like, this is what he does.
I just don't think he has it anymore.
Should any team want Carmelo Anthony?
Blasphemous.
Yes, sir, Carmelo.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Control the Narrative, a podcast where we control the narrative that the media creates. If you're new around here, subscribe to catch our weekly podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And if you're a returner, a subscriber, or better yet, a Control the Narrative member, we appreciate you as always. Quick little intro before we get into it. If you are going to be in Cleveland for All-Star Weekend next month, come see us. We're going to be at the 5th Street Flea Market Arcades. We're going to have a little table, and we're going to have exclusive merch. We're going to have some other giveaways and be doing some cool things there. So Cleveland, we're going to give more information as it gets closer. It's a little more than a month away, but Cleveland All-Star Weekend 2022, Control the Narrative is there. So come see us at, I think it's called the 5th Street Flea Markets or Arcade or some shit like that. We'll get all the information out on social, but if you're going to be there, keep an eye on our Instagram and Twitter to see exactly where we're going to be, and we got some cool shit coming. So we have a special episode every week. You know, I say this all the time, but this week it's another truly special episode. We have a dude who I've been talking to for a while now, a dude who knows basketball, a dude who is a very good basketball player, and is a family member of Lala Anthony. It's Lala's cousin. So I'm gonna leave that intro at that. Zack, welcome to Control the Narrative. Finally, bro, it's been
Feels good,
years
man.
We've been recording this shit and way too long, but welcome.
Feels good to be on the show, man. We controlling this narrative today. We're going to get into it today. We're going to get deep into it.
You already know, bro. I know you know your shit, so like I just said before we started recording, this shit could go 20 minutes as it does with two people sometimes, but I could also see it going like 3 hours, so just going to play it by ear. Lakers had a little 4-game winning streak, their first one of the season within the past week, and then they just lost to the Grizzlies. So my first question to you to kick this shit off is, do you think the Lakers' 4-game winning streak was more because of the poor competition that they were playing, or do you think it was more of the team starting to gel and figure shit out finally?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I'm leaning towards they're starting to gel. And you can see it out there, you can see the way when Melo checked in when he told Malik Monk, get your ass out. It's just they're getting back to playing basketball. And that's just, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to watch. When they was on that win streak, they controlled everything. You could tell Westbrook was doing his thing. LeBron is LeBron. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. LeBron is LeBron. Melo, he was active in it, but I would love to see him more active. I would love to see them throw it down there a couple of times, let him work. But they're going to double team off that, so I would love to see that. But I do think the team is coming together. Trevor Reeves is back now. And we don't even have Kendrick Nunn yet. Obviously, Anthony Davis is hurt. You know how that is, man.
Every fucking year with this shit, man. And, like, we never wish that shit on anybody, and it's like, when people say, oh, he's always hurt, bro, like, you got to look out for that this year. It's like, it's just his fucking body. And, like, people have said that, like, yo, why you always talk about AD's injury or, like, this or that? It's like, because it's the fucking, you look at the
elephant in the room
over the years, bro.
It's the elephant in the room. Because when Melo was on Portland, Davis was killing us, bro.
Yeah.
That was tough to watch. So,
yeah.
But I feel like the team is gelling, though. They coming together. It's getting... They taking it day by day because at the end of the day, half that team is a lot of vets, so they understand what it is to play winning basketball, and they understand when it's time to turn it up, and then when it's time to, like with that game yesterday with the Grizzlies. I mean, it was a blowout, but they stormed back. They stormed back.
The bench, bro.
I love Austin Reeves, man. AR,
bro,
he's nice, bro. He's nice.
He's legit.
He's
nice. A rookie. He plays like he has high IQ, whether it's like taking charges or making that extra. He's a good player.
He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play the game of basketball. I feel like that's kind of the benefit of staying longer in college because you starting to understand the game more. Because he's 23, 23-year-old rookie, so I feel like he understands the game. I like him out there, though. I really do. But if the Lakers, if the bench could like really pull together more, they'll be good.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I kind of think it's more that they were just playing shitty ass teams. And like I'm not gonna do like the 50-50 thing because I feel like that's like a boring ass answer. But I think that if they were playing, because I look at the 4 that they beat: Portland, Minnesota, Sacramento, Atlanta. No great teams there. Minnesota, like that was a good win because they were getting smacked around by the Wolves the last few times. But I don't know if they would have beat those teams like a month ago. So I think it's a step in the right direction. But at the end of the day, when they play legit competition like Memphis and like Brooklyn, those were the last 2 teams they lost to. It's like they still don't have their shit figured out. But at the same time, I feel like this Melo at the 4, LeBron at the 5 thing is working a lot. And we talked about it last week, but I feel like that's really unlocking something with them offensively that's allowing them to win games that they're supposed to. Because like I'm not shitting on them for they won versus shitty teams. Like who gives a fuck who they verse? If they're on your schedule, you're supposed to beat them.
These professionals at the end of the day, regardless.
Exactly.
So.
And then you see like a team like Detroit just beat Utah yesterday, which I bet fucking $240 on and didn't turn out well. But yeah, man, I just feel like they're definitely taking steps in the right direction. But I think people overreacted a little bit to the 4-game winning streak where they're like, yo, LeBron at the 5, like that's it. Not fuck Anthony Davis, but like, yo, and wait till we get AD back and shit like that. I just feel like it's a little bit of both. But when you look at Portland, which they beat by 33, Minnesota, Sacramento, Atlanta, like there's no real impressive wins there. And like they've really yet to beat like a legit team, especially as of lately. Like I'm looking at all their wins. Those 4 that I mentioned at Houston, Dallas, Orlando, OKC, Boston, Sacramento, Detroit, like no real great wins, but I just want to see them. And like you mentioned the bench last game with Memphis where they were down fucking damn near 30. And then Austin Reeves and Kent Bazemore and DeAndre Jordan like lead the comeback. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on in this game? And sometimes to me, it just feels like the vets are coasting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like they are as well because, like I said, they one of the oldest. They were one of the oldest, or if not the oldest team in the league.
They are, for sure.
So it's a lot of coasting because these vets, they not the same 28-year-olds they once was, where they was killing, which they still are killing respectfully, but their body is like your body's catching up to you. That's at the end of the day, that shit do catch up to you. When you least expect it, it's gonna catch up to you. You're just gonna be sitting there like, damn, I thought I had time. So I feel like they're coasting it because when postseason does come around, or when like towards the end of the season starts coming around, it's time to really get locked in now. Now, I feel like from game maybe like 65 to wherever they end up at, it's time to really get into what we do, what we got to do to win games, and what we got to do to continue to get better. And going into the playoffs, when they go to the playoffs, it's gonna be a dogfight every game, dogfight. It's not gonna be
legit again.
The West is legit. The East looks nice too. It's a dogfight this year. So
let me ask you this, because we spoke about this a few weeks ago, but I feel like it's a point that I just want to talk about one more time, because like a lot of people feel like you feel where, once it hits 65 games, like once we start getting a little closer, like this team's going to turn it on. Do you feel like, one, they can turn it on, and two, that if they decide to turn it on, that they're going to be able to just like not run through the West, but be able to seriously compete against teams like Phoenix, who are looking legit again, teams like Golden State, who just got fucking Clay back, who's obviously very, very early, but he's looking good. Like, do you think that them being able to flip a switch is going to allow them to beat those teams, or do you think they need to start from now? Because I kind of have mixed feelings, but I want to.
I feel like I have mixed feelings about it too as well, because I feel like you kind of do have to start from now, just so you're not caught off guard. Like,
exactly.
Game 65 now, we're just gonna go crazy now. Like, it doesn't work like that in basketball. I'm sorry to say, whoever thought it did, it just doesn't work like that. Yeah. So I feel like I don't want them to coast, but coast to the point where it's like we're literally at the edge of turning it on, but we're just trying to conserve energy and body and just all that.
Fair.
And then when it's time, like when we're right there, now it's time to go up. Like we just burst through. Do I think they could compete with? Like I said, I always look at it as, can Phoenix stand toe-to-toe with LA in a 7-game series? Or can Phoenix, can Golden State? I'm the biggest. I don't really like Golden State, but I love Curry, I love Clay, I love what they do.
Of course.
But can they really stand in a 7-game series? And that's what I always ball it down to. You feel me? it gets. I'm gonna be biased. I'm always biased. It's for me, my cousin, all that, but it's gonna be a dogfight. It's not gonna be easy.
Of course.
We have LeBron James, we have Carmelo Anthony, we have Anthony Davis, but then again, it's like Anthony Davis was averaging like 23 or like 22, 10 and something, but it was the most. You just didn't feel that 22. It was like it was like Andrew Wiggins when he scores 20. It's not. It's the most boringest. It's the most boringest 20 points, and you would never feel that 20 points. Like when Karl-Anthony Towns was giving Anthony Davis work, you felt every bucket.
Yeah.
It just sucked the energy out of the Staples Center or Crypto Arena, whatever. It sucked the energy. Yeah, Crypto.com Arena, my fault. It sucked the energy out of them. So I feel like it's gonna get to a point where they can't coast no more. They got to really turn it on, and body language got to be different now.
That's a fact.
It can't be the same. Oh, the play didn't go my way. I'm not running back on defense. Nah, man. Y'all in year 100 now. Like, come on. Y'all have been terrorizing the league for how long? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Man. Y'all gotta.
Good point.
Gotta turn it on. And the young guys gotta step up too, though, and also be ready to turn. Like, I feel like the young guys right now gotta get their legs in right now. Like, they gotta
all right, so we're about to go there. So you're talking about terrorizing the league. Yo, real quick, sorry to interrupt if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, but just wanted to let you know that we have merch at Control the Narrative, and it's pretty fire, in my opinion. This is the Pixel Melo t-shirt that I'm rocking. Anything from Cuse Melo to New York Melo, Hoodie Melo. On this shirt, we got Scapegoat merch, we got Blackball merch, we got just regular Control merch. Shop CTRL the Narrative.com. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, stickers. Shop CTRL the Narrative.com. I think I got my point across. Go check it out. I bet you'll find something you like. Appreciate the support as well. Obviously, the merch sales help us fund these podcast episodes that we get to record every single week. So appreciate you. And back to the show. And Malik Monk has been on a fucking terror lately.
Yeah, he has.
Balling out offensively. He's played good defense. Like, people don't want to give him credit, or like, again, there's a narrative around him that he doesn't play defense, but like, solid defender from everything I've seen this year. So what do you think has made him so effective lately? Do you think it's like freedom? Do you think it's just them setting him up, or like, why do you think he's been so good lately?
I feel like for Malik, it was a confidence. He got his confidence back now. And then when you have one of the top 5, top 3 greatest players all time in your ear telling you, you got this, and you got one of the top 10 scorers, if not the most unguardable player you ever seen in your life, talk to you every day and like joking with you, like, come on, get your ass out. Now it's my turn. That also brings a different, like, okay, I'm energetic now. I'm happy now. Yeah. And then you play for one of the most historic franchises to ever grace the NBA. It's all confidence. The game of basketball is 90% mental and 10% skill. I'm forever say that. If you're not confident, like when Malik Monk turns on the confidence, he has a burner. Like, his jumper's on. He's going to the basket like a wild man, dunking on everybody, getting putback dunks, yelling at the crowd. Like, all that stuff adds up to it's time to get, like, okay, I'm active now. I'm good. Like, all right, yeah, I'm back. And like I said, like LeBron said, Charlotte wasn't used. Charlotte, man, what they did him the worst way. They wasn't using him. So now you got a team that wants you. It brings a different energy out of you. The same thing with like when Melo went to Portland, a team wanted him. It brought a different energy out of him. It unlocks a new key of you that you never knew you had. So I feel like Malik has that key right now, and I love to see it. I love watching him play. I love it. He's on fire right now. Yeah, you gotta keep it up,
bro. I think the confidence thing is so big because, I was never, I don't think, on your level in terms of basketball skill and talent and all that shit. But like when you go, and people who never played basketball, they don't really understand that, like, when we talk about like being in rhythm, they're like, nah, man, if Melo's open, he's got to hit the shots. And like, fair, but there's a big difference when you're in rhythm, when you're, like you said, energetic, when that, like, you're confident and all that shit, that it just feels like everything you throw up is going to go in. And lately it's felt like that for Monk. And I think confidence is a huge reason why, because, he starts having these all-time great players in his ear. Paul's like, yo, like, keep doing your thing and like all this shit. And then also for me, I just think it's freedom. I just feel like he's been able to handle the ball so much more, and like they've been taking it out of Russ's hands a little bit more, and THT even a little bit. So I just feel like the confidence mixed with the freedom, where they're like, yo, we trust you, like, you're Malik Monk, and you were mishandled in Charlotte, but now you're here and like we need you to be a part of this team. I just feel like all of that is mixing together, and it's really showing off like who he can be offensively. And he reminds me a lot of another dude who Melo used to play with, and Twitter's been saying it a lot. Do you know who I'm talking about?
We going J.R. Smith here?
Yeah. Bro, he
Mr.
reminds
Swish,
me a lot
man.
of fucking
I love JR.
Denver Nuggets JR.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he's like an Energizer bunny. Like when you put the batteries in, he's on. He's on.
Yeah.
But when you take the batteries off, he's off. And that was JR. I love JR. Look, I used to go to Knicks games as a kid watching JR. Calling me nephew. For me, like I used to watch all of it. Like him half court, like the most iconic. Like I watched it all.
Yeah.
So I used to love watching JR. I always thought JR was one of the best players that didn't get to make an all-star team. Like when the keys was given to JR, he was doing what he had to do.
Always. Remember when Melo was out in 2012, 2013, and he hit a couple game winners?
Yes. That one, what was Indiana? Was Dallas one of them?
It was Charlotte and Phoenix. And you're right, bro. And like, I love players like that. Like, it's cool and also weird seeing Melo kind of be in that spot right now. I wish they just gave him the ball as soon as he came in, like it seems like they do with Monk, even though he's starting. But it's cool seeing those players where they can put up 10 points in 2 minutes. It's fun to watch, and especially when a guy like that is confident and feeling good about his role on the team and being supported by the coaches, and the players on the court. Very important, because like the coaches for me feels like they're saying all the right things about Melo and the nicest things about Melo, but when he goes out on the court, it's like he doesn't get his first shot till the 6th minute. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
No, that's a fact. I be feeling the same way. So I'm watching the games. I'm like, I didn't see like the last game Memphis. Did he touch the ball in the first quarter?
No,
I don't think yet. So I'm like, what are we doing here? But I also think he's just going with the motion right now. Type where like I said, he looked like he's shooting. Is he shooting like 40% from 3 this year?
I think he's down to like 38
now.
Something, yeah.
He's shooting all-time high from the 3. And I like when games come down to when it's time to win and they're in the game, and you have him and LeBron out there, it's poetry. Like it's literally
tough.
I would have never thought that. I ain't even gonna lie. Like me personally, I would have never thought it.
Yeah.
But watching them play together, it's back to when they was playing at the ABCD camp, back when they was 16. Like you could see it back when they first met. So you could see it, like just the chemistry. I love watching Olympic Melo. When Olympic Melo's on, he's on. Like he's. Yeah. I seen the work. That man, you can't stop that man when he's on. When he got it, that 3 to the dome, you've seen it every time. As a basketball player watching that, it's deflating. It's deflating. Yeah. It's deflating. When he's doing this in your face, doing this to the crowd, you're just sitting there like. Then you got to realize he's a professional bucket getter. Like this is what he does. So I feel like when it's time to win games, when you have him out there with LeBron, you got LeBron at the 5, Melo at the 4. I put all trust in them on winning that game. Even if they don't win, I know we in a very, very, very good spot to win that game.
Dude, I want to ask you a question that I didn't put on the list, but you were just talking and I wanted to bring it up. Where it's like Melo didn't take a shot in the first quarter. Was the Grizzlies game last night or the night before?
The night before, I believe.
The night before, 2 nights ago. He didn't take a shot in the first quarter. It's not like he didn't touch the ball in the first quarter. So I just want to know from you whether you think it's on Melo to be more aggressive. And again, it's a little bit of both. We're not like going totally one side or totally the other side. But do you think he should or could be more aggressive? Or do you think it's the team who is like not giving it to him in the post? Because when they give it to him in the post, like you said, it feels like they get a great look every single time, whether it's Melo, whether it's him skipping over the court, a long pass or like a quick double pass and I guess a hockey assist or whatever the fuck the case is. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I also think he's going with the offense. So he's going with the flow of the offense. Like I'm not going to sit here and just catch the ball, and every time I touch, I'm going to shoot it. Like, I'm not going to force nothing. I'm going to let the game come to me, because when the game come to you, it makes your life 100% easier. When you see that first bucket going, life is okay. Life's back to normal. but I feel like he's going with the flow of the offense. And if right now I'm not touching the ball, we know he could go off for 30 in a quarter if he wanted to. Like if that's what he needed to do, that's what he had to do. So I feel like he's going with the flow of the offense. And as he got older, he understood that. Like, I feel like I'm just watching him. It's looking like he's understanding that more. And it's like I'm gonna go with the flow of the offense. But when I'm here, I'm ready. Like, I'm always ready. But right now, I'm not touching the ball. I'm not scoring the basketball. I'm not in the post right now. I'm gonna do something else, which he has done. Let's talk about his defense. It's been great. Plus minus has been great for all the calculated nerds.
The calculator boys, we call them.
For all the burner accounts. I'm coming for y'all. I'm coming for y'all. Because my son's been playing really good out there. Like, plus minus has been great. You got the two oldest players with the best. Come on now. He's been playing great. Defense has been great. The way he's passing the ball has been great. I be seeing him on Sports Center top 10. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So, you throwing a little hoof for me? Okay,
that Christmas Day pass, right? On the breakaway?
Yeah. So I feel like he's letting the scoring come to him now. Before he had to go out there and get a bucket. Like, that's what the team needed him to do. Like, in New York, he had to. New York, he had to get buckets. Denver, professional bucket guy. That's why I was drafted. That took me third for a reason. It wasn't. I'm average 21 as a rookie. For me, so I feel like he had to go get it. But now it's like, I'm going to just let it come to me now. And it makes your life easier.
I just feel like it's so frustrating as a Melo fan and, like, all of us watching because, like, I'm watching the Lakers because Melo. I could give two fucks about anyone else on the team. And, like, of course, I want them to win, but because of him. So, like, when he does that and lets the game come to him, and then it results in THT taking that shot or Westbrook airballing that shot or whoever, like, that doesn't shoot as high of a percentage as he does, it's so frustrating for me. And, like, people say in the comments all the time, like, yo, he needs to get the ball and just, like, shoot. And, like, he can't. As much as we want him to get the ball and shoot it every fucking time, like, he can't do that. I just wonder if the coaches are telling him, yo, you got to play more in the offense, or whether it's on him, be like, yo, I just want to get everybody involved or whatever. Because like you said, he's 19 years in. He has nothing to prove. He doesn't need to go out there and drop 30 for his team to win. But it just seems like when those possessions that he passes the ball in end up in a THT missed three or like a Westbrook missed layup, I just get so fucking pissed because I'm like, yo, if you're going to do some bullshit like that, let Melo get the shot.
I'm in the same boat, bro. I hate watching, bro. I hate seeing the possession go down and THT ISOing in the corner. I'm like, what are we doing, bro? Like, that's not
exactly.
That's not the play, bro. Like, that's just not it. So I feel like it could be the coaches, but also when you're on the court and as a basketball player, when you're on the basketball court, I don't tend to zone out coaches, but I'm in the battle with my brothers right now. So I'm gonna talk to them. This is what we're gonna do. I know what coach said, but this is how the game going right now, bro. Whatever he's saying right now, we gonna listen, but we gonna understand that we the ones on the court battling right now. This is us right now. This is not them.
Sure.
They on the sideline watching, they coaching. We on the court right now. This is us right now. This not them. Like I said, you have to listen, of course. You always take what your coach is saying. I take it with a grain of salt. I'm different. I take it with a grain of salt. I understand, like, Frank Vogel's a coach, championship coach, etc. Defensive-minded coach, etc. You got to take it with a grain of salt, though. That's how I look at it. But I feel like he do got it for me. I would always want him to, give me the ball. Like, look who I got on me. Give me the ball. Exactly. And I do feel like they wave him off sometimes. I really do. Watching the game, I've seen them wave him off. I'm like,
Russ, you want to just say his name, Russ?
Come on, man. You know, look.
I'll say it. You didn't say it. I'll say it, Russ.
You got THT do it too, man. Y'all know how I feel about THT.
Yeah, he does.
He does it too. He's a young player though. I understand. Like, you youngest player on the team, just turned 21. But I don't know. Like, I have too much respect for, like, I'm gonna go get my buggers, but I have one of the best post players to ever touch basketball. Like, you think I'm not gonna throw it down there where he got Chris Paul on him or whoever's on him? Like, that's baby food. Like,
and bro, it could result in them getting an open look.
Getting you an open look. But I feel like that's just the mentality, selfish mentality, where they play a lot of ISO ball. I ain't gonna lie, they really do.
Yeah, they do.
And it's not even Carmelo Anthony leading the ISO game. It's everybody wanting to be ISO game.
That's my point. If it's gonna be some bullshit possession like that, let it be in one of the greatest scores of all time.
Yeah, let it to me. I could live with LeBron ISOing, or I could live with Melo ISOing the whole possession, but some players I just can't live with them. That's not it. I know Frank Vogel on the sideline. He didn't draw that up. We,
Yeah.
we talking about an ISO. You in the corner for 15 seconds?
Yeah.
And you didn't move. Like, you're in the same spot. Like, you're dribbling, but you're in the same spot. Like, so I feel like that's also they got to get that together with the ISO game. Like, we're not in Brooklyn. This is not Brooklyn, bro. This is not KD, Kyrie, and Harden. That's ISO game. We gonna lead in them ISO game over there.
Of course.
We year 19 boys. We gonna move the ball. We gonna get a good shot.
19 boys.
We gonna get a good shot. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing I feel like.
So, for me, I think that the reason, or a big reason, that THT is this heavily involved in the offense and just the team is because of his contract. Like, I think when he was really going through a rough stretch, there was really no reason for him to be on the court for as many minutes as he was or taking that many shots. And on the flip side, when you look at Melo and him on a veteran's minimum contract with what he's producing off the bench, and the role he's willing to accept for this team and the leadership, the veteran leadership he's bringing to this team. All right, last interruption, because if you're watching or listening to the podcast for this long, you probably fuck with us. And if you fuck with us, you'll probably fuck with all the perks that you get from being a Control the Narrative member, whether that's access to our invite-only Discord where we're talking basketball all the time, or opportunities to join the next episode of Control. So whenever we need a guest, I go in our Discord, I say, yo, who's free? Who wants to hop on the next episode? And I pick from there. You get 20% off merch forever, and then you also get member-exclusive merch, all by being a member. Tiers start at $2 a month. So if you fuck with us, go check out a membership, CTRLthenarrative.com, and I will see you in the Discord. All right, back to the show for good. Can you talk about Melo's value being on that minimum contract, just compared to other players in the league? I'm not going to name names like THT, who's getting paid $10 million a year, probably 3 times what Melo's getting paid. But what do you think about what Melo's been able to do for the contract that the Lakers gave him?
I feel like he's exceeded expectations 100%. When you get someone a vet minimum, that's like Udonis Haslem. I just need you to be the voice, everybody's ear. But he's going out there, beginning of the season. I mean, he was on one. Like, he was, I'm back, motherfuckers. Like, I'm him. Like, he was on one. So even seeing him calm down a little bit, but he's still in that mentality where, like, okay, I know what I gotta do. Yeah. But I feel like he's been playing above expectations. You paying him like what? What is it? How much a year? Like
it's
$1 million?
2.8 or 3 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
You're getting paid. Come on, like that's chump change. So it's like he's doing way more than what a vet minimum is supposed to be doing on a basketball court. And I love watching. I love seeing him prove everybody wrong in the comments. Like he's not really a comment person. You could like, there's no reason to. I'm not really a comment person.
He used to be. I miss that shit, man. Glazed donut face ass. I miss that Melo. I miss that.
That for me. That was savage Melo. So I feel like he was. Now it's like I'm doing what I gotta do, and I'm doing it well. He's doing it very well. He's, like I said, the defense has been good. His plus minus has been out of this world. Like, no one could tell me he's not doing what he has to do on a basketball court.
Yeah.
And I would love to see anyone in the comments talking crazy. I would love to see y'all go do that shit. Y'all get y'all busted. Like, we tend to criticize NBA players, but like, look, I ain't gonna lie. I used to criticize a lot of NBA players. Now I see them when I had to play them, whatever. They give me straight buggers. I'm sitting there like,
I bet,
scratching my head like, damn, I don't think I could do this.
For all the shit that I've talked about Jared Dudley, he would fuck me up one-on-one, and I'm not playing basketball in high school, college, and some semi-pro league like at all. But he would bust my fucking ass. I hope he doesn't watch this shit. But yeah,
I'll give Jared Dudley the work. Right?
Jared Dudley is where you draw the line.
Nah, Jared Dudley, I'll give him the work. I'm sorry, I'll give him the work. But I feel like he's playing at his pace. He's playing at a great pace. And even when he's off some nights he's going to be off. That's just the game of basketball. You're going to have it some days. You're going to have it.
Especially when you're 37.
Yeah, it's just going to happen. But even when he's off, he still impacts the game of basketball. Whether it's him playing good defense, him talking on the court, I feel like that's a big thing too. Communication on the court is a big thing that people fail to realize that these vets bring.
Hold on. Talk about that for a second, because we talk about that on this podcast. But like, explain why that's such a big thing. Why, like, having somebody who's telling you, yo, where's the screen coming from? yo, we're gonna hedge this or like all that shit. Talk about that for a second.
In the game of basketball, having someone like that I call those floor generals. Like Rondo's a floor general, 100%. He's talking you the whole game. Melo's a floor general. LeBron's a floor. They talking you the whole game. They yelling out screen right, screen left. That's like an extra pair of eyes on the court for you. So when you guarding that one-on-one defender, you on an island by yourself. You can't look left or right. You got to focus on what you got to do. So having players in your ear like that talking to you, screen left, screen right. We hedging this. Trap that. That's a big thing in the game of basketball that very much needed because if you don't have that, you could get hurt. You taking a screen from someone like Steven Adams and no one calls out the screen, bro. That's a concussion. You're in the protocol, sir. To the bench. You're done. So I feel like having someone like that on the court is a big thing that people fail to realize. We don't get to hear that during the game sometimes. Like, you got the commentators talking over the game. You don't get to hear the real raw. Yeah. But when you sit there, when you go to games and you hear it and you watch it, like being courtside as a kid watching them, yo, screen left, screen right, we hedging that corner, I got you. Like, that's a big thing in the game of basketball. That stuff like that don't show up in the stat sheet. It don't show up in the box score. Yep. And that's where you get the calculator boys, man. And they get to talk about the box score, this and that. Yeah. You don't get to see it on the court. And now that he's doing good with the plus minus, it's like, what can I say about Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah. Bro, they'll always find some stat. Oh,
he shot 2 of 8 today. How much did Taylor Horton shoot? Now we're quiet.
4 for 13. Now we're quiet.
Come on, like. So I feel like they hold him to a different standpoint than everybody else. Which I mean, that's how it is. But you got to give him. You got to cut him some slack, man. Like he's taking. If I'm taking 8 shots a game, I mean, I have to do something else on the court besides shoot now because I'm only taking 8 shots a game, and I don't know when those 8 shots are coming.
Exactly. That's huge. That's fucking huge. Like there's certain guys that they know that when they're in the game or when this play is going to be run, they're going to get a shot. Melo has no fucking idea.
If you don't know.
If LeBron drives and Melo's guy goes to help or, they run a pick and roll and whatever the case is, Melo never knows when the shots are coming. And for a rhythm player, that's fucking huge. And it's tough. It's tough, bro.
It's a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Like being a player that you got to get in your rhythm because every player you just don't go out there. It's you. You got to be a very, very rare breed of a player to just have it like that.
Yeah.
And you got some of the greats that are rhythm players. Like they have to get in rhythm before they could really. And rhythm could mean a lot of things. Rhythm could be from that game or like from games previous. Like, okay, I'm averaging 20 now. I'm in my rhythm now. Okay, right. I'm good. Or it could be that game. I could have 0 points the last game. I come out here, I could get 35. This game, I was in my rhythm. So it's like rhythm is it could mean a lot of different things. So I feel like for a rhythm player to not know when my shots are coming, you don't know. Like, you just got to be ready. You just got to be mentally prepared, mentally, emotionally. And you got to be ready on the court. Like, these are grown men coming for you every night.
Yeah.
You're Carmelo Anthony. They're like, there's no way in hell they not coming for you. They want to show you up. They want to show the old men up. Like, not to call them old, but like, they're the oldest in the league.
The legends.
They want to show the legends up. They want to show the guys that's been terrorizing the league since they was little kids. And that's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
They've been terrorizing the league. For some of them, they're not even out the womb yet. Terrorizing the league. So you guys sit there like, damn. But like I said, for a rhythm player not to know when his shots are coming is big. But he's doing a great job at controlling that. He's controlling his own narrative on the court.
One of the best percentages from 3 shot in his career.
It's a beautiful thing to see. Every time he shoot a 3, I think it's going in.
Always, bro. Especially in the fucking beginning of the year. Every fucking shot, fucking 3. Like every shot he put up, I was like, let's fucking go, celebrating before I went in.
He was on.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get back to that. I have 100% confidence in that. But seeing every 3 he shoots in the Staples Center, seeing the crowd like interact with him,
they love him.
It's a beautiful thing to see. For someone that was sitting on a couch, not knowing if not even sitting on the couch, blackballed. I'm gonna say it right here, blackballed out of the league, to now being loved by Laker fans, the most historic franchise of all time. It's a beautiful thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing to sit there and sit back like, my guy is loved by them. Like, not that anyone cared who's loved by or who he's loved by, whatever, but it's a beautiful thing as a Melo fan, as a Melo supporter. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
And bro, like getting validation from a fan base that is, like you said, one of the most historic franchises in NBA history, and to get that loud cheer every single time you come in the game. It's been so fucking cool to watch. It's been so dope
It's
to
a big
watch it.
thing.
And I say, man, we could come on here and bitch about THT and bitch about Russ and like all these different things. And I try to sometimes, bro, I just get caught up in this shit. And I'm like, fucking THT or Russ or this. But like, I put it on, was it Twitter? Yeah, I tweeted it out a few days ago where I was like, bro, it is really cool that we get to see this fucking guy in his 19th year. Even though he's only getting 10.5 shots a game, career low. Like the fact that we get to see him take 10 shots in every game. We don't know when they're coming. We don't know how frequent they're going to be. We don't know any of that. But like we've gotten to see him get buckets for the Knicks, historic franchise, the Lakers, a historic franchise. So I just always try to add that in once in a while because I feel like sometimes all of us get carried away with, yo, no, like we know what Melo can do. So that's why it's so frustrating for us when he's just cardio Melo, just running up and down the court and like doing fucking nothing offensively versus, just taking a second and be like, yo, like he's on the court, especially after what he went through when he was blackballed.
Exactly. That's why I always take a step back and like I'm enjoying watching him play the game of basketball because we don't know when it's going to end. So it's a beautiful thing to watch him. I love watching every post. I love watching every bump, pump fake. I love watching everything. I love watching every scramble fight they get into. I love watching them stick up for the young ones. Like, I love watching that because at one point that was them having a vet stick up for them. So it's like everything comes in full circle.
Yeah.
So I love watching him play the game of basketball the way he wants to play the game of basketball and the way he's every three he's smiling. Even when he gets rebounds, I got it. Fuck out of here. Like I love it. I'm gonna forever love that shit. Like I added that into my game every time I get rebound. We in the open floor. I'm getting texts. They throwing me texts left and right. Like, yo, I got it. Fuck out of here. I got it. I got it.
Is this a family thing? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, I think, bro, it's everybody does it. We all do it because for me, it's like it's iconic. Why not? Like, why not? Like, I feel like Russ. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not do it? So like I said, like with Russ, I love Russ. I love the energy he brings to the court. I really do. Sometimes you question it, but that's Russ. But when Russ is on. Like Russ is doing what Russ got to do. When Russ is 0 turnover, even I'm cool with Russ having 3-4 turnovers.
Of course.
I'm cool with that. I've seen Lakers Twitter bash him about all the turnovers. I'm cool. If Russell Westbrook's going to the basket making the right plays and it just happens to be a turnover, I can live with that. I think LeBron touched on that like a couple games ago. He touched on it. It's going to be turnovers in a game of basketball. But seeing Russ control it to where it's like 4 or 5, that's cool with me. Like when it gets to like triple-double numbers, then we're like scratching our head now. Okay.
Like 7 1/2, you're a little
worried. You're like, okay, bro, what are we doing now? Like that's when you start scratching your head. But I love watching Russ attack the glass as a 6'3" point guard. I've seen him like I forgot what game it was, but he was giving him extra possessions, like crashing the glass. He's just on the glass, yelling. I think it was the game against Brooklyn. He was just on the glass. Christmas Day when they lost, he was on the glass. But he was on the glass, so you have Nicholas Claxton under there, 7-footer. Westbrook 6'3". Give me that. Ripping out his hands, yelling in his face. Like you need that. Like that's like Black Air Force energy, like a menace. He's a menace, but you need one of those menaces on the court. So I feel like you gotta really. I'm enjoy watching all of them play though, like watching LeBron play, like watching Russ play, even Anthony. I mean, I don't. Even Anthony. I mean, that's a tough one because like I said, when Melo was a Portland and AD was in the, come on, bro, he was killing Nurkic. I mean, he was giving Nurkic. Yeah. That whole playoff run, he was giving everybody buckets. Yeah. Jokic was getting buckets,
Bro, that was when he was hungry. That was when AD was hungry. I feel like he's not hungry anymore.
He's not. No, AD said, I had nothing left to prove. That's what he said.
I know.
And I was like, that separates the greats from just good NBA players. I never heard LeBron say, like, LeBron has said, I have nothing left to prove, but he's also touched on, I'm still chasing the ghost of Chicago. After he won his, fourth ring, he did say that I'm still chasing the ghost of Chicago. This man is one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball. One of the greatest all-around players, and he's still hungry. That separates. That's the mama mentality. Kobe was different. Kobe was hungry look, when Kobe was up, what is it? He's up 3-1, I think, or something like. He was up like 3-2 or something like, or 2-1.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "Job's not done.
Job's not done. Yeah.
It's not done. Why am I? The job's not done." So I feel like Davis don't have that. He
doesn't. And people get mad when they say that though, bro. Like I say it a lot, and like people are just like, nah, he's still hungry. Like, what are you talking about? He's averaging this. And I'm like, that doesn't mean shit. Like, because he's putting up numbers, that doesn't mean fucking shit. Like, just
That's the
watch
calculator
it.
boys for you. They just looking at the box score. Go watch the game. That's what I said. It's like Andrew Wiggins. Like no slander against Andrew Wiggins. Phenomenal NBA player. He's doing great with the Dubs right now. I love watching them play. He's balling. But at one point, he was giving you the most boringest 20 points you'll ever see in life, and you didn't feel none of those 20. Davis is the same way. I don't feel none of the points. I'm like, he's shooting a career low from 3. Like, this is not the Anthony Davis I know.
That's what
This
I'm
not the
saying,
Anthony Davis
bro.
that was scoring 50 against the Warriors when he was with the Pelicans.
I know, bro.
That's not the same
That's
Davis.
what I'm saying. I was so hyped to see him this year, and then it's like, fuck. Like, he's not. Is this who he is? Like, was he just going off against the teams that I was following, or like what the fuck was going on? But it's like, no, it's just who he is.
I like injuries. Like I'm always like, because I understand how injuries can be on a basketball player's body. So I understand 7-footer getting injured. I understand. It's like you don't wish that on nobody. Some of the injuries you can't even stop. Like some injuries that he's had this season, like you literally just can't get.
People like jumping into his knees and shit.
Yeah, you can't. You can't stop that. That's just. I mean, that was your fate right there. Like you just had to go through that. There was no choice. So I always try to like tread lightly with him. But even when he's like healthy, it's like he just don't have the same hunger, I guess. Maybe it's early in the season. Like I said, they're just coasting. I don't know what it is, but then you got LeBron. I mean, he was averaging 35 for like the winning streak. I mean, LeBron was like some body languages. For me, some body languages was questionable. It was questionable. But I mean, he's giving you the what is it? I call it the Lee fuck you 3. Like, I mean, he's literally like, bro, you can't make that shit up. Like, and as a basketball player, that's deflating. I'm always say this.
What's the Lee fuck you 3?
It's when he looks down at the ball and then grabs it and just like that's the Lee fuck you 3, bro. Like
you know it's coming.
It's coming, and he still gives you bucks, and you got to walk back on defense, scratching like you going back on offense, scratching your head, and then he's looking at you too. It's like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah. That's good shit, man.
It's crazy.
That's good shit. Yo, Zach, appreciate you fucking big time. This was long overdue.
Definitely, man.
Obviously, we've chopped it up a lot about basketball and then other shit, but like to actually get on here and get an episode was clutch. But before we let all of our guests go, we allow them to control a narrative. So it doesn't have to be Melo related, doesn't have to be basketball related, doesn't have to be sports related. So if you got one, I'm going to give you the floor and let you control a narrative before I let you off.
I want to control what's going on in the world right now. Just a narrative of like all the racially profiling, all that stuff. I'm going to get real political now. I just want to control that. We should never see color with nobody. We should never, ever see that. And I want to control that narrative as to the point where we all bleed the same. We all eat the same. We all shit the same. It's just literally we're humans. The color aspect of everything is retarded. Like I don't look at none of my brothers or none of my teammates, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, etc. I don't look at none of them differently. You my brother right now. We in the trenches, we battling. I got your back. So I feel like we gotta control that narrative. We also gotta control these burner accounts, man. I'm watching y'all, man. I'm gonna be funny as well too with it. We gotta control y'all. I'm watching y'all, man. Y'all NBA players with these burners accounts. Y'all ain't slick. Like, we gonna control that too.
What do you know, Zach, that we don't know? What can you tell us?
Man, y'all NBA, they be having fake accounts, man. I'm gonna say this right now. They be having. I've seen it from not even NBA players, from like some of my college friends, like some of the blue check kids on Instagram. They be having. You gotta have fake accounts. I mean, look, when Instagram lobs my blue check, I'm gonna give me a fake account. I'm not even gonna lie, because thered be a lot of shit that you don't see.
Yeah.
But I feel like we gotta control those, man. Y'all be wilding in the comments. I be seeing y'all, man. Y'all be defending yourselves to the point where we know it's a burner now. If you're gonna have a burner, be discreet with it. Don't be out there wilding. So, like I said, with the whole racially thing, that has to be controlled. Like I said, me and Steve, we two different colors, but this my guy, man, 100%. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's my guy. We talk about everything with each other. So I feel like all the hate in our heart, we gotta let people be. And even when like touch on the vaccine a little bit, even with the vaccine, I'm fully vaccinated. I got my booster shot, all that. But if someone doesn't want to get their vaccine, you gotta respect that and just leave it like that. Don't ever like try to overstep your boundary at all with anybody. And that goes for any narrative you want to do, anything. Like, don't ever overstep your boundary. Like, you got the calculated boys overstepping their boundaries in Melo's comments. You got them. What was the dude? LeBron was talking about the fake tears. Like, he overstepped his boundary. I mean, everybody just likes to overstep their boundaries with a lot of people. So I feel like as a collective group of humans, we have to stop doing that and just let people be on. You gotta understand personal space and understand just not stepping over boundaries. We're just gonna. I respect what you gotta say. That's what you have to say. I respect it, and leave it like that. Go lo suave. We good. For me, we good. Like, that's what I feel like we have to do as a human. As humans, we have to do that. So that's a narrative I want to control going into this year. And just another last narrative, like, have fun with your life. Live your life. Don't worry about what nobody has to say about you. Live your life. Because you don't know when you're gonna go. You gotta live your life, man. You gotta really live the life to the fullest. You only get one time. So it was a blessing being on this show, man. Long overdue. Overdue. It was great to talk basketball, my guy.
I just want to say, for anybody who just caught like the last 3 minutes of that, those like 3 fucking life lessons that you can learn real quick. They were gonna come on here to listen to us talk about Melo, and I think they took a lot more out of that. So I appreciate that, Zach.
Always, bro. You know that.
my guy, appreciate your time. We'll stay in touch, catch up again soon, but stay mellow, man, and thanks for all that insight, bro.
You know that, my guy.
Peace, my guy.